कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि
तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि
यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात्
यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात्
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम्
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यम्
बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः
बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः
अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम्
अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यम्
गहना कर्मणो गतिः
गहना कर्मणो गतिः
कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत्
कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत्
अकर्मणि च कर्म यः
अकर्मणि च कर्म यः
स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु
अबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु
प्रयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्
प्रयुक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत्
यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणम् तमाहुः पण्डितं बुधाः त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गम् नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः निराशीर्यत चित्तात्मा
निराशीर्यत चित्तात्मा
त्यक्त्वा सर्वपरिग्रहः
त्यक्तः सर्वपरिग्रहः
शारीरं केवलं कर्म
कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्
यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समः कृत्वापि न निबध्यते गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतम् ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम् ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना दैवमेवापरे यज्ञम् योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञम् यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति श्रोत्रादीनिन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्ये
शब्दादीन्
Favorite medicine is
विषयानन्ये
meditation education. It's
इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति
it's just mental.
इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति
Can't shut the
सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि
fuck up.
सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि
प्राणकर्माणि चापरे
She's horrific.
प्राणकर्माणि
Favorite
चापरे
medicine is meditation. It's she's mental. Can't shut the fuck up.
आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ
आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ
जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते
जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते
द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपो यज्ञाः
Yeah, but the point is to help.
योगयज्ञास्तथा परे
But you can't get a word in.
ज्ञानयज्ञाश्च
Meditation. The point is to help, but you can't get a word in about meditation.
अपाने
I'll try it next time I see it.
प्राणम्
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम्
I'll try it next time I see it. I'll bring it.
तथा परे
प्राणे पानं तथा परे
प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा
प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा
प्राणायामपरायणाः
प्राणायामपरायणाः कृष्ण कृष्ण
अपरे नियताहाराः
अपरे नियताहाराः
प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति
प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदो
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदो
यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः
यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो
यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो
यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम्
यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम्
नायं लोकोऽस्ति यज्ञस्य
नायं लोकोऽस्त्य यज्ञस्य
कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तमा
कुतोऽन्यः कुरु सत्तम
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः
एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा
वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे
वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे
कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान्
कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान्
एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे
एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे
श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयात् यज्ञात्
श्रेयान्द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञात्
ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप
Chris, contrast this pleasant Bhagavad Gita chanting with talking about Carmela Anthony and how he didn't kill somebody for days and weeks. This is why Hinduism has a one-up against the fucking insane racial identity politicians here on Clubhouse.
Hey John, I just saw the video that you sent me. It's super funny, man. You should get like an AI David Attenborough to like redo your voice. You did great commentary, but it was really good. Really good.
Which one did I send you? I can't even remember. Let me see. Oh, there was the couple outside. Yeah.
On Easter, like the day of rebirth and resurrection.
This should go viral. Let me see how many views I got on this. Only 17 views. See, I would think that YouTube would like pop that in the algorithm, but no. So annoying, because it's like I think that's the same girl who like a month ago was on a screaming tirade outside my place. And it's funny how the police just drive right by. They give two shits about people fighting in the street.
Yeah, I saw that. They were like beating each other up, and the police car just drove straight past them. But yeah, let's do some compare and contrast. Let's listen to some derangement, communication hypnosis versus some peace chanting.
Man, I am so exhausted with listening to these rooms about Carmelo Anthony because it is like literally listening to the impossible. meaning that everybody's always, the thing is, nobody's going by the law or the word, and so it's all just opinion, and it's a trap. This app is the spider web and the fishnet.
It is. It's a loop, man. It's a loop. Like time is a flat circle. If you've ever seen True Detective.
Yeah. Do you remember in the movie Conan the Barbarian? He has to work on the wheel of woe and like basically use it as a grinder.
I love that part in time where he prays to God and he says, you know, like that quote where he says, and even if you don't help me, I will slaughter my enemies. That's so good. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I'm just comparing this, like, this is philosophy with Sam. See, I think I'm just gonna become a Hindu.
And I can say
I already am a Hindu. I'm a Hindu is I think what they call me. Because honestly, I just like relaxing stuff, and all this political stuff, it really takes you away from relaxation. But this is how Indians spend their time. Just chanting, just being peaceful. You know? I mean, the book deals with war, but just listen to these very peaceful people. Like, it makes me really dislike Americans, actually, quite a bit. And when I say Americans, I really mean the Nostradamuses of society.
ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम्
ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परां शान्तिम्
अचिरेणाधिगच्छति
अचिरेणाधिगच्छति
प्रज्ञश्च श्रद्धधानश्च
And I like how the people like try to imitate what's being read because it's not good pronunciation, so it's like kind of mumbling chanting. But the whole point is relaxation. Peace now. Okay, now I take you to a Carmelo Anthony room.
This is what we're talking about. We're talking about no, because that's not what we're talking about. Don't change the subject. You're changing the subject. I'm not. That wasn't the context of what we were talking about. I'm holding you to what
See,
you
Chris?
said.
I swear to God, I'm gonna opt out.
What
Yeah,
I said.
it's derangement communication. That's what it is. It's pure derangement. And, you know, it's distilled. This is what this app is.
It's a distillery. It's a distillation, a condensation. I think one time you were like, you're scraping the gutters. Okay, this is another Carmelo room.
And he has witnesses that say, no, they were saying they were going to beat him. The attorneys are like, that might be enough to say, okay, wait, we're going to plead this down, or hey, it could. Maybe he get dismissed, right? You just got to have one juror. Now, the one thing you got to remember, the judge is listening to this case too. And if the judge is like, the evidence is overwhelming here,
nothing to anyone.
They can throw it out.
But did anybody here other than me notice that neither Kamala or Trump brought up the vaccine in any of the debating over the 9 months? Neither party. It's almost like they had an agreement not to bring up the vaccine.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that.
Neither party ever brought up anything to do with COVID. Or the
You
vaccine.
never thought about it because you don't do much thinking, do you?
They would always go back and forth with each other like a topic, but neither one did.
Never touched it.
Huh.
That's interesting, right? And it's also true. Probably the first 2
Well, maybe that's why it's interesting, you dumb motherfucker.
So, guys, give me a round of applause, man.
Yeah, Grant Cardone for president and governor of California.
We have 80% of the room saying Trump did not ruin the USA, by the way. So I don't know where all the liberals went tonight.
I don't know if this is on X. This has got to be on X, right?
There's only 11 responses. There are now 13, so let's...
Bro, details. Good poll. It's a good poll.
Yeah, you don't woke them up now. But, let me
It's a great poll, if I might say so myself. Be a part of the 9% contributors and take that poll, please. I voted no.
It's going down right
Okay,
now.
so
It's going
Grant
down.
isn't
So,
even
yeah,
live on
some of
X. He
the
must be
extremists are starting
on
to vote now.
Chatter.
It's because you guys woke it up and said something. But here's the thing. So anyway, Grant, going back to, because you said something that wasn't correct. You said Biden just hid in the basement and he didn't come out. He actually debated Trump. In fact, Trump had COVID when Biden debated him. Okay, and Trump came very close to the president, even though he knew he had COVID. He debated him with COVID instead of just saying, "Hey,
I would go there, Jonathan. Everybody turned on him within minutes on every news station. Come on, let's
Turn
tell the leaders.
Turn on.
Turned on Biden.
No, we're talking about the first time around since he doing COVID.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the last one. Sorry, I stepped away. Either way.
And Jonathan, I'm back.
I think that was all.
Conservatives and MAGA, guys. These conservatives and MAGA people.
No, I think they turned on Biden on purpose. How's that?
You know what? I'll tell you what it was, Cindy. It was the whole men and women's sports. It was the whole, hey, if you're not for open borders, you're bigoted. It was the whole, hey, if you don't support, Roe v. Wade, you're anti-woman. Like, when you get faced with that type of stuff so many times, it makes you reconsider, do I really belong in this party? Like, we talk about it all the time.
This is that boy TC.
Number one people that has my back when I'm getting lambasted on these stages for doing just that. And, Jonathan, you know it's the truth. Even you know some shit that liberals do that you can't get with, and you're like, holy shit, this is very radical. And that's what does it for folks, unfortunately.
Did he just say anything at all?
Yeah, he said that's what does it for folks, unfortunately. So, anyway, with that
This is the same Million Man Marathon show for like 4 years, 5 years. It's the same fucking repetition. It's unbelievable.
No.
Nothing new. It's the same exact conversation. Nothing updated.
In migrants, and there was Delta whistleblowers.
Delta whistleblowers.
Boarding planes full of illegal immigrants and trying to get them in before the election, and then trying to give them the ability to vote. Like they didn't just let people walk in here. Like they were like actively,
aggressively flying them in through every major airport.
Just put a name on it.
Democrats.
Democrats.
We have a name, though. We just can't say Democrats.
Democrats. Yeah, you could say Democrats. It ain't Republicans doing it, motherfucker.
Why won't we just let the people here that's already here legally vote instead of having to fly new ones to vote? I don't understand.
I don't understand that either, Jonathan.
That's some dumb shit. But go ahead.
No, I mean, like you can just look this up. It's like
okay, but it doesn't matter how they got here.
It does matter how they got here, Cindy.
The most to ever come through this country.
It's called the Democrats.
Okay, I rest my case. So now who's going to clean that mess up?
Donald Trump, Tom Holman, and patriots like you.
And what they're doing is this right here. The border was closed down, guys, and no one was coming over.
Oh, thanks, man. I hate these people so much, Chris. They're so stupid. Such a waste of time.
John, the Buddha says that we shouldn't reserve our love to just one specific person. Remember that Zen mantra, right? Like you gotta love everyone equally, right?
I don't know if it says that. I think it says be here now, that the now is all important. And I'm going to go get a cheeseburger from Superdog. But if I do leave, see, this is the thing, is I'd like to capture these people and just put them in a bottle and not even have to worry about the love equation. Because all I really want to do is just commodify people. I could give two shits about people's opinions because most of the time they conflict with mine and cause me anxiety, which is what the problem is, and thus why I just transmute people into bottles.
And 21, 22, 23.
That's what I said. That was after COVID ended. So
again, how many came in prior? How many came in after? Does
I don't have
well, you guys are the Google machines here, not me. So I'm sorry, Google it.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie, Jonathan.
The numbers don't lie. I just said to you that the numbers were quite high.
Oh,
I
okay.
said that. I said that the Biden administration should have
And
done
what
a
did
better
Trump
job.
want to do? He wanted to build a wall.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, he wanted to build a wall, but Cindy, but Cindy, I gotta stop because you sounded so sure about the numbers. Can you give me the numbers now?
No, I just was watching on TV, so I never Googled the numbers. I probably should.
Have you seen the gold prices?
Would you like to do that?
Shot up in price.
Somebody that's faster than the old lady.
Peter Schiff says his portfolio balance is 60% gold and silver stocks or miners or physical, and then 40% high dividend yield stocks. Oh, Nick, you're a perfect person. Here, listen to this. Listen to these fucking cholos.
Congress
I don't even know what a cholo is. It's like a
can't
schmuck.
just spend our tax dollars. Congress has to approve that money. Like, if you want to just do...
Isn't it amazing, though, that Jonathan actually gets Grant Cardone on his program? I mean, I'm not saying Cardone is cool, but, like, you'd still think Grant would be, like, smarter than to waste his time here. But see, the thing is, there's no other, like, good outlet. Like, Jonathan has held this stupid Million Man Marathon thing together. This is proof pudding. I wonder if he's making any money from this, or he's totally just neurotic like me and not making money from this. I don't believe he's making any money from it.
You realize your response happens. He just gets more Instagram followers. Clout chasing.
Yeah, that's it.
I think he said that Mexico would. So your point is moot.
Let me look at his.
No value here. What he said was Mexico would pay.
He's only got 9,700 followers on Instagram. I mean,
that's who we said it. You bringing up the fact that Congress.
the Play XL,
Okay, well,
co-CEO Cinch Business Academy, the president of the Nation Mac Mortgage.
That's what he asked. He didn't say anything about Mexico.
There's a photo of him with Grant Cardone. You know who he looks like? He looks like that black actor from that movie where everybody's like an alien, you know, and you put the glasses on.
The actual correct answer is he couldn't pay for the wall on his own or using.
Look at the size of his head. He's a special person.
Like you were asked.
Who did Trump say? Who did Trump say would pay for the wall? Multi-level marketing type things.
Yeah.
It has to be that. Like, you know how it is. Like,
well, he probably Grant Cardone has an affiliate program. He probably just refers them all to the Grant Cardone University. I bet.
Yeah, and he gets a kickback.
It's like $1,000, a month that you pay to be part of that, exclusive club.
Primerica does the same thing. It's like multi-level marketing. Like, I'm going to sell securities and life insurance, and then, Edmund, I'm going to tell you to work for me, and then you're going to find me 5 more people, and I get a percentage of what everyone brings in.
I know. It's crazy. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should be communists and socialists, because if you've ever, like, actually seen people that work for, multi-level marketing scams or just, like, frauds, and you're just like, damn, you're like, I feel bad for you. I feel really bad for you because you are this stupid. But I feel bad also for society that we can't actually support. Most people can't actually support themselves, that there's just not enough jobs. I mean, if mass deportation means anything, it means the option of job choice amongst us.
Responses? Trump said out of his mouth that Mexico is going to pay for it. How is that a gotcha question? Did you not hear what Trump said? Or are we doing the whole
I think
Trump
also just
thing?
focusing in on Black Americans and like creating a black podcast is like could be a thing, or at least in one more attempt.
Which one is it? You can't have all three.
Yeah, it's very niche.
Because
it's kind of global. People all around the world might want to know only what African Americans are saying.
Oh, okay. No one said you said.
I mean, imagine people in China hearing, like, seeing subtitles, like listening to these debates, and they're just like laughing at black people. They're like, "This is so crazy. They can't believe what the subtitles are telling them." Or imagine if we sold like an English education course, but we only had African American speakers. So next thing you know, like Russians and Chinese and Indians were talking like Black Americans, and then.
What if they had Jonathan Bing doing it?
God, that'd be so funny. They show up and like, "Hey, motherfucker! I'm from Beijing. I'm here on a fucking vacation."
ridiculous that he even said, "Oh, Trump would pay for the wall," because how, like, to say that a United States infrastructure project is going to be paid for by another country, that should be on its face, like, obviously ridiculous. Like, I recognize that. I'm not
He's like a catfish.
And Congress did not approve his appropriations to build the wall. He wanted $10 billion.
He's like that. He's like that Star Wars character who's on the Corset or something, and is like, "Yes, Princess Leia, will commence the attack. Commence the attack of the Death Star."
You're an attorney. No, you're an attorney, right? So tell us why. What is that called? If he knowingly lied to his constituents, the voters. I mean, is he honest?
No, he's definitely not honest all the time. But like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, Trump is like always like right, or Trump always like says things that are true, or I'm not just like a fucking sycophant, but like, just don't come at me with stupid shit like that. And, think that, like, I'm not prepared to answer the question the correct way. Because as soon as he realized Mexico wasn't paying for it, he did seek the appropriate channels to get taxpayer money to build the wall. And the question that was asked was, Trump had a plan. Why didn't Trump build the wall? You were going too far back with Mexico. He already realized Mexico wasn't going to pay for it, and then he went to Congress, and Congress didn't approve the money he wanted to build the wall, and that.
The more important thing is he lied and said how much wall he did build, and we do remember him appropriating, I think, some military funding. Somebody can correct me on that. He did get some funds together. Materials were gathered, and then he lied and said how many miles of wall he built when he actually did it. So. How about that part?
How about Biden selling pieces of the wall for pennies on the dollar?
We're not talking about
just
Biden
before leaving
office. Who did Trump say would pay for the wall?
Mexico.
Oh my God, is that all you can say?
Okay.
You have
there we go. That's a simple question. No, we're all dumber. Thank you for your contributions.
Hey, and if you have no plan, if you have a plan without any dollar figure attached to it, it's not a plan. Maybe a concept.
Jamaican lady from Canada.
Chat, you're gaslighting her. Let me ask you a question. Why didn't Trump build the wall?
Gaslighting?
She's gaslighting.
No one is gaslighting. Have you heard anything? Y'all not. No.
I heard it all.
We are not parenting right now. We're having an intellectual conversation. Let's have the conversation.
I heard a grown
and not
woman.
those social media terminology that we don't even understand the meaning of it around.
I know you don't. I heard a grown woman speaking extremely disrespectful to another grown woman, and it's disgusting. Thank you for calling her dumb.
So retard? You didn't hear her call me a retard?
Ew, oh my God, please.
You didn't hear that?
Can you please don't? Yeah.
All right, guys, one mic. Let's not do it. All right, guys, welcome to Debate the News. Hey, guys, if you guys are listening to us at home, make sure you guys are downloading the Shadow Social app. The Shadow Social app can be downloaded.
Shadow Social app, and then we will get you involved in our business, and we're going to take your income from a mere $4,000 a month to a fucking $40,000 a month. We got your whole university figured out for you. We got Cindy Stumple, we got Grant Cardone, we got the heavy hitters in the real estate investment trust business. This is your friend, Jonathan Bingham.
I did one version of it, pretty freaking awesome. And he's updating it again. As we speak right now, hopefully we'll have it up
Daphne!
before the end of the show.
Thank God Daphne was here, otherwise I would have been charged with rape!
The link up top, like the podcast and follow the podcast. Once again, click the link up top, like the podcast and follow the podcast. Let's jump right into it. The question is, has Trump ruined America? All right, the USA.
The title of this room, by the way, is Trump Ruining the World. Can you think of a more ridiculously hilarious title? It is actually really funny.
That's what I'm at. That's what I said.
That guy's hilarious. Just listening to
It's the most all or nothing title I've ever seen on Clubhouse.
He always brings Daphne up there.
Daphne.
I'd add to this.
I'm waiting for the greatness to begin. I don't see it yet. All I see is confusion. All I see is the lack of leadership. I say it every night.
Go up on stage and troll them, And they would get so pissed and be like, Daddy, trolls, matters. Move this person to the audience, okay? We don't need any trolls.
Yeah.
He used to get so pissed. Or, did you ever go in there on Tiffany Sotheby?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the one where you were trolling them. And they're like, oh, really? I want to hear what you have to say. And they were taking you so serious. I was crying. I was just sitting in the audience. I was crying of laughter because, like, they took you so serious. You're like, I just want a good meal and a good man. Can I find that? And like, oh, yeah, Tiffany's right. Oh, that was a hilarious name.
It's performative. I mean, even what they're doing is performative. Everybody, I think, anybody who's aware see, it's just so easy to fall into a hypnosis and just like shut down and stop working, stop moving, stop thinking, because hypnosis like overrides the entire system. Listen.
That wants to attack or people fear. And shout out to Luis for the podcast where we get to go in there and voice how we really feel.
It needs to be like an Anthony Metcalf memorial and an Anthony Metcalf podcast.
Because they may be
Anthony Metcalf scholarships, Anthony Metcalf University, Anthony Metcalf the movie.
That's where we're at.
Everything needs to go to like his brother, right? Because he has a surviving brother. His fucking brother is going to be like a multi-millionaire.
How do you feel? Right. And name one thing that you think Trump has done to ruin America.
That's such a fucking patriotic, anti-American bullshit.
Us as Americans, when certain presidents win the presidency, you feel a sense of unity. You feel a sense of yes.
That stupid lawyer? Oh, I think, yeah. Well, I don't know that one.
Yeah, she's a communist. Oh, she is no, you've heard her. I can't think of her name. But she lives in like Canada and claims she knows everything about the U.S. and she's from like Jamaica or something.
I'm not sure of her name.
Yeah, I know the other lady, the lawyer. I've gone at it with her too. Not Nora Kassad. The other one. I think she lives in like New York or something.
Okay, I'm gonna head out of here in a few minutes.
The only person that's been working really is the judicial branch. Dealing with all these.
If I could do it all over, Nick, I would have gone to law school after undergrad.
Someone was trying to jump in. Who's that?
Yeah, Jonathan. So there's Congress is working on something called a big, beautiful bill. And what this is going to be is going to be an omnibus bill with a whole bunch of different policies, budgetary agenda items, priorities of the president, spending cuts, and things like that. That's going to be in the big, beautiful bill. So unlike previous Congresses, and Trump has said this, Mike Johnson has said this, Kamala has said this, unlike previous Congresses, they're planning on putting a lot of the policy agendas into two bills. The first one is the first big, beautiful bill, and the second one will be the second big, beautiful bill. You'll see things like immigration reform, healthcare reform. There's going to be a lot of infrastructure spending. You'll see a lot of cuts to a lot of the frivolous waste, fraud, and abuse the government has been just, ravishing itself on. So that's what you can expect. That's what they've been working on. They passed the bill in the Senate and went to the House. It's now being marked up in the House. You can expect something by the summertime.
So we're going to be 6 months in before Congress passes its first really substantial bill.
It'll be the equivalent of like 10 bills in one, Jonathan. That's what I'm trying to say. You're saying Congress isn't working, but that's not true. They're passing the equivalent of 10 bills in one.
Yeah, see, the problem with that is when you do a big, beautiful bill, everyone has their own interest. Anyone who's that trying to jump in?
He really is stupid, isn't he? Jonathan really is a dummy.
Who's that? Go ahead.
It's kind of funny.
Who's that, Luis? No, your microphone is horrible. It sounds like a 50-cent mic. It don't even sound like a dollar mic. It sounds like a...
Everybody mute up. But Alan, hold on a second. Let's have this dialogue. Don't even mute up. Do you have to mute up, bro?
John.
Yeah.
Let's just say, because nobody really knows, because the cops voted was
now higher than it was during the first quarter. It's kind of crazy.
I saw it was 52% with baby boomers, which is probably more like 60% all the way up to maybe even higher. Who knows?
Trump's approval rating for the first quarter of his second term is higher than it was during the first quarter of his first term, according to a recent Gallup survey. So people really love what he's doing, but that Supreme Court justice decision, 7-2, that was brutal.
What, for the deportations?
Yeah, the Alien Illegal Immigration Act. And I was reading Robert's dissent, and it was pretty powerful, kicking those illegals out of here.
Did he make any good points, or was it all just political bluster?
Yeah, really good points. Really good points. Saying, that the Supreme Court law is under the jurisdiction of the law, and that the Supreme Court shouldn't have gone against the Alien Illegal Immigration Act. But, the Supreme Court's going to do what it's going to do. 7-2. Sucks.
Well, I mean, then this sets up, the moment for Trump to essentially disobey and say, you guys are a bunch of frauds, and I'm the president, and if you want to go to war with my administration, go to war with it, and we'll see who wins. I mean, judges, just because they speak and write paperwork doesn't mean that they are the all-or-nothing hypnotists of the world. I mean, Caesar,
Yeah, Andrew Jackson said, they wrote the laws, but let them enforce it, right?
Right.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah. They expect him to enforce it.
This is what he said. The district court never certified a class, and this court has never held that class relief may be sought in habeas proceeding. In some, literally in the middle of the night, the court issued unprecedented and legally questionable relief without giving the lower courts a chance to rule, without hearing from the opposing party, within 8 hours of receiving the application with dubious factual support for its order, and without providing any explanation for its order. I refused to join the court's order because we had no good reason to think that under the circumstances, issuing an order at midnight was necessary or appropriate. Both the executive and the judiciary have an obligation to follow the law. The executive must proceed under the terms of our order in Trump versus JGG, and this court should follow established procedures. So, maybe he should just dissolve the Supreme Court, see what happens.
Well, dissolve isn't going to happen, but I mean, he has to, fuck. I mean, you can't impeach a Supreme Court justice, can you? You can, right? Can't Congress do it?
You need 2/3, which is impossible.
2/3 of Congress? I mean, if they control half, I mean, they'd have to control, what is 2/3 percentage-wise? 68% or something, or I don't know. Anyways.
66, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Anderson wants to say something. He's the cult leader of the Little Hat. The cult leader of the Little Hat movement. I can't do statistics. I can't do a fucking calculation like that. 2/3, which is 4/6, which is 8/12.
You call yourself fucking educated, motherfucker? You're meant to be a fucking officer in the fucking army.
I've degraded my brain quite a bit.
Fucking intelligence fucking corps. This fucking cunt doesn't even know basic fractions of fucking percentages. Jesus Christ.
Well, if I showed you who was in charge of this intelligence officer, you would be like, "Oh yeah, he made the right choice. Better to be free than to die in the mountain fighting some fucking goat herder for nothing because some fucking stupid motherfucker wants to get a fucking medal because you're fucking there." Anyways, the point is,
I love that you were actually fairly accurate, but 68% or something. You're like, what?
2/3. It's close. I don't know. It's not quite fucking 75% would be 3/4. I mean, I know fucking. Listen, I mean.
66 senators. There would be 66 senators that would have to vote in favor of dissolving the Supreme Court.
Not dissolving, but I mean recasting, right?
Or impeaching one.
Impeaching.
It might even have to be 67 to make it over.
Damn. We have, they've been saying that America has 13 million illegal immigrants for the last 30 years.
Yeah, bro, it's more like 50 million.
No, I'm guessing 75, 80.
Yeah, it's easy in the tens and tens of millions.
100%. Especially
motherfucker, 2 million came across per month or something.
Yeah, 15 million came under Biden. 15 million. You're saying still 12 to 13 million? Shut the fuck up.
What do you think about?
This is the bit I love as well.
What do you think
They
about?
say that, like, that's just the ones that they quote know about, right? What about all the ones they fucking don't know about? Like, these are numbers of people they like
people that
caught
have to go
and catch and release or whatever, right?
Also, like tourist visas, right? Like people who travel here for like 3 or 4 months, like then they just stay here permanently. It's fucked. It's so fucked. I hate it.
Like, let me tell you. I'll tell you this for a fucking verifiable fact, right? I think Mr. fucking comedian here was asking me recently. I don't know, maybe he was in the room. Someone else was asking me. But I very nearly became an American in the year 2000. My family, we were going to move to Arizona. And it didn't happen for a number of reasons. One of those reasons was that let's just call her my aunt. She's not my aunt, but we're just going to keep it very vague. But similar relationship. My aunt ended up, she had a back injury here, was basically told she would never walk again. There was a specialist out there in where we were going to go in Arizona. She went out there, saw the specialist, and started to walk like 5 miles a day. She overstayed her tourist visa for 10 years. She lived in our house in Arizona for over 10 years, like to the point where like we had to like smuggle in a new passport for her and shit because it all expired, right? For her to leave the country, and that was never. There was no issue. There was like not a single fucking thing. There was no.
Like you know.
So what about all the people that like overstay and they don't know, right?
Yeah, and it's like
they thought they were gonna get like they thought like they were leaving the country, like maybe they were gonna get like an interview or something. Like nothing. Just fucking nothing.
You know, like recently, 20,000 Afghanistan Christians showed up at the border, right? But there's only 16,000 registered Christians in Afghanistan. So it's like, come on, like how many, like what percentage of like these motherfuckers are terrorists? You know, like our like foreign state.
What about the thing where like I think Tucker went down to the border, but there's another guy I really like. He's a YouTuber, and all he does is he goes around with a GoPro and just films people and like does interviews, right? Like man on the street. Sometimes he'll get invited, and a cop will show him somewhere or whatever. His name's Peter Santinello. It's a good YouTube channel. Anyway, he went down to the border. I think it was him. If not, he's done quite a few videos around the border. But like they found a ton of fucking Chinese people, like a ton, like and also what people are doing are discarding their IDs the other side of the fucking river in Mexico. So like if you go across, there's just like bushes full of fucking plastic IDs where they're like kind of half destroyed, right? But you can clearly see it's like China, right? Or whatever their fucking IDs.
And you know, it only takes 5 to 6 people to take out the electrical grid here in America.
Apparently it takes like 12 ragheads to commit 9/11. You know what I mean?
The dancing Israelis.
Hey bro, listen to me. Do you know what I love? Do you know what they've never produced? CCTV footage of the ragheads in an airport. Airports are basically second to casinos for like the most heavily surveilled fucking buildings like in the developed world, right? And there's not a single clip or still image of these ragheads in a fucking airport before they board an aircraft.
And really? They should have made that entire airplane after like that passport that they found, you know?
Exactly, right? And here's my second question. Okay, let's just assume somehow in good faith that passport just was found within 48 hours and it made its way into law enforcement's hands, right? How many other passports were found? Like, it must be hundreds of people. Like, clearly, because the passports are surviving, right? Because the black boxes didn't survive. You know that? The black box recorders? With the indestructible black box recorders, they didn't survive, right? But how many other hundreds of passports? Like, what's the fucking chances? You know what I mean? Like, the terrorists. But you know what the best bit is? Like, every year, when it comes up around 9/11, there's like a new clip I see, and it's almost like, you think you've seen them all, but like every year it's almost like there's one or two that pop up that I've never seen before. Someone like, you know, it's looking at this with like fresh eyes. Someone has a recording of MSNBC or CNN, whoever the fuck it is, I think it's MSNBC, and it's the coverage of the towers as the second plane hits, right? Within 45 seconds of the second plane hitting, the anchor says the key words, Osama bin Laden. They sold 9/11 in 45 seconds, bro. Hey, you know what I mean? Like,
And did you know, like, the BBC?
the BBC had Building 7. Yeah. 20 minutes in advance.
They were,
and it's still in the background.
Yeah, in advance, like, what the? This whole, like, the whole
9/11
situation. Like,
oh, I'm in the Matrix.
what's even crazier?
I only saw it, I think, last year, maybe 2 years ago. Don't know, 2 years ago. There's a fucking, like, and there's apparently the original version was like over an hour long, right? But there's footage of a guy walking around, like he walks up the escalators and stuff, and he's in the ground floor and maybe the first floor of, although in America I think you call the first floor what we Europeans call the ground floor, right? The first level and the second level of Building 7. There's no fires. It's smoke and shit, but there's zero fires. But it's not smoke, it's dust, right? And Jody interviews at the top of the fucking escalator because he's just walking around like with a camera. At the top of there's a fucking Secret Service police officer. I don't know, maybe Secret Service would have had a fucking office in that building. I've never looked that up actually. But the IRS did, the CIA did. But it was like, why the fuck is there a police officer in this building? We were told that what made that building collapse was office fires, right? But anyway, Building 7 is the like chink in the armor to convince normies.
Yeah.
Am I in the Matrix or are you? I can't tell. Comedian, who's in the Matrix?
I don't fucking know. Just get to your fucking point, you fucking leprechaun faggot.
Yeah, it must have. No, it's just Building 7 is the one. You know, it's like if that's in question, well then it's all in question, right? You don't have like the people are like there were no planes, bro. It's all fucking CGI. It's like that shit is like that's the disinformation put out there to like trap you and like so that if you run with it, then they can discredit you for life. So like, don't even go there. Fuck 'em. Just
and then in 1997, like 4 years before, like there was bombs planted, right? There was bombs planted in one of the World Trade Centers. The whole thing.
Well, no, there was an original. I don't know which year it is, but the World Trade Centers were attacked in the basement before. Like there was bombs, I think, detonated in the basement unsuccessfully. Like they didn't collapse it, obviously.
It was a two-pronged attack. It was one to involve us in perpetual war in the Middle East.
Okay.
And another to surveil Americans.
You're gonna like this, right? You're gonna like this. Are you at a computer? Can you look up a web browser?
Yeah. I'm
okay. Open up Google and type in the Lone Gunman TV series pilot. Have you ever heard of this? And then find the Wikipedia page. It's called the Lone Gunman TV series. Do you know what I'm referring? No? Have you heard this before? No?
I've never heard of it. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, right. So you're gonna you can scroll down to like the initial bit, series overview, similarity. I'm showing you because I'm not making this up. Similarities to the 9/11 attacks in pilot storyline. I'm reading this directly off Wikipedia, right? In the pilot episode, which aired March 4th, 2001, 6 months prior to the September 11 attacks, rogue members of the U.S. government remotely hijack an airliner flying to Boston, planning to crash it into the World Trade Center, and let anti-American terrorist groups take credit in order to gain public support for a new, profitable anti-terrorist war following the Cold War. The heroes ultimately override the controls for the plot. Someone has edited this, that's slightly different, but it's still close enough. But this was aired on national television, bro, 6 months before, okay? Like, I want to fucking... Listen, man, I'm not into this predictive programming shit, like, blah, blah. Like, no one I there's no American who I've ever told this about that actually knew about this, unless like you, because there's even people who are like into 9/11 never heard about this. Okay, I want to know.
Yeah, I've never heard about this.
Because you see, when you Google shit like predictive programming, it puts up shit like the Titanic and some conspiracy. Like they never once has anyone ever debunked this. Like, how the fuck was this predicted? Because by the way, one of the planes was heading to Boston, right? So like 6 months before, like how fucking uncanny is this? Like this is just, it's too perfect, right? And even just to what you were saying, because this is what brought it up in my mind. To let anti-American terrorist groups take credit in order to gain public support for a new, quote, profitable war.
Did you see that now they're going after Pete Hegseth about him texting like war plans in Iran?
It was like fucking over or something. I don't know. It seems like a nothing burger, but I know that they're going out.
They're trying to divide so that they can start another war in Iran.
Sure, well, like, of course the fucking Jews want a war with Iran, you know? Fucking Netanyahu sat and said in front of a committee in Congress that, you know, he personally guarantees, you know, there will be reverberating fucking positive consequences throughout the region. Fucking cunt. Anyway, like, every war
Bam,
since
bam,
9/11,
bam, 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 Iran.
like,
Bam, 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 Iran. Bam, 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 Iran. Bam, 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 Iran.
in the Middle East, and how many of them have benefited the United States, and how many of them have neighboring countries of Israel, and how many of them have benefited Israel.
And you know, the war in Afghanistan is what killed Europe because of the refugee crisis. It pushed all those refugees into Europe. Think about it.
Yeah, there's a fuck ton of them in Germany for sure. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. No, I think it was a twofold way to also weaken Europe as a continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's you know, it's
approximately 10 million people, almost the entire population of Israel, ran to the bomb shelters with their children.
War, right?
Whenever the Germans came in on the first day, they didn't expect anything to happen.
Julian Assange also said, he said
we
that
let them walk in to the end of the street,
that
and
he
then
kind
little
of
by little,
this in a
the Jewish
sensor to
soldiers on the balconies
yeah, basically it's about milking.
which was very successful.
It's the endless war is about milking the tax bases of the developed world into pockets of the technocrat and like the military-industrial complex, right? The techno-security state, which will be basically then used to fucking enslave you, right? So the whole point of the end, like, context, you were in Afghanistan 19 years.
I still was with
right?
my father.
19 years. World War II
16
World War II
years.
could have been completed 4 times.
Damn.
4, you know? So, in fact, I've heard it many times. I've got books, you know, from British Military, and I've said, like, what is our purpose? What are we doing here? And then the fucking task, and it just keeps changing. You know, firstly it was like
destruction, right?
Exactly, we're doing weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and then all of a sudden, okay, there were no weapons of mass destruction. We're now spreading democracy. You know, like, fuck bullshit.
This past week, there was an incident in which a small number of soldiers vandalized property belonging to civilians in Judea and
What was the
Samaria.
justification
As a
for the
result,
invasion
the
of
Chief of
Iraq?
the General Staff,
Saddam has
LTJA,
weapons of mass destruction. But yet
this is the next generation of commanders in the technology and logistics directorate. They make sure every soldier in the field has what they need, no matter where or when. These officers ensure that all equipment is up and running for any situation that comes.
Logic fallacy here, right? Like, so Saddam did have
The
weapons of
same
mass
trucks they
destruction
have used for
when
years
Soviet
to
invaded.
carry out attacks across Gaza.
But they know
to
that
smuggle
Iran
weapons.
does have a fucking nuclear program.
The same trucks.
But they're not.
Sirens sounded across
Right?
Israel.
So what is-
Millions of Israelis stealing
It's such
funds
fucking
meant for the
horseshit
people of
on
Gaza.
space.
Do you see like the dollar is collapsing and gold is like
Man
going
to the
like crazy in price? Also like Bitcoin as well, like it got from 60 to like 87,000.
Jehovah, thy temple.
Bitcoin's done. It was at a high there, broke 100, like very, very marginally broke 100 grand. So it's actually like down 20-25%. I don't know. I'm not paying attention attention to those things, but like, I don't think you can look at the individual price in any given day of any of those things and.
But gold has like gone up like 20% in the last like couple of weeks. Like it's at 3,600 or something. It's.
Tucker Carlson did a very interesting interview with a guy who I've never fucking heard of before, but he seems to be some gold specialist, and he was basically stating that among many things, like gold and silver markets are particularly some of the most heavily manipulated on the planet and artificially controlled.
IOUs. It's like paper. It's paper.
Oh no, it's not even that. Like that's a joke in of itself, right? Like, and where gold moves and shit, but it doesn't. Nothing actually changes. It's still sitting in the same vault or whatever. Right? But, or countries that loan their gold.
If he loves his own,
right? Like Australia's like loaning its gold to like fucking Nigeria or something. Right?
It is easy to stand.
What is the purpose of this? Or what was the other one?
So here we go. Somebody's all fired up, screaming and
specific
crying
word
at
they were
each
using,
other.
but basically they were remanufacturing gold. Like, wait a minute. How the fuck do you not know that this isn't like a fucking lead brick plated in gold? Like, what? How do you need to remanufacture it? There was a specific word they were using. It wasn't remanufacturing, right? But like, what's the purpose? Like the whole, like, it's a fucking element in the periodic table. It's pure. It's inert. It doesn't fucking change. It doesn't need to be touched. It's like that. It's incredibly stable. Like, what? It doesn't need touched. Like, what are you fucking with it for? Like, it just makes me reek of shenanigans. But
heaven, he said, this comes from heaven, not from man.
From man or whatever about that. Essentially, like, gold markets are manipulated by governments essentially because it is a threat to.
And who controls the government? The Jews.
That's right.
Without the Jews, there would be no reality. There would be no news. There'd be no culture. There'd be nothing. I'm going back to Israel soon to join the mother country and the greatest military on the planet. Going to Tel Aviv to become Jewish once again.
Not as particularly a ornate one as that, right? Like a fairly
ornate,
blonde one or whatever. Of the few people that I do know that are actually quote Freemasons, right? They're just like. It's like a fucking business owner that like.
My name is Yahya Mohammed.
Like he employs like 10 people and owns a plumbing business. Like these are not people trying to like.
Proud soldier in the Israeli Defense Forces. I grew up in the Arab village of Al-Fahim. I grew up in a country that I was taught to hate, but eventually I fell in love with Israel. I decided I wanted to give back to my country. So even though I am not required to do military service, I chose to enlist in the IDF and join a combat unit. I was nervous about how the rest of my platoon would feel about serving with a soldier who comes from a Muslim background, but I was greeted with open arms, treated with nothing but respect and admiration. Today I officially finished advanced training in the Nahal Infantry Brigade. And when I stood on the ceremony alongside the brothers that I had been training with for the last 8 months, I was proud to accept the responsibility of standing at the borders and protecting my country, Israel. What made me fall in love with Israel was the resilience of its people, and I'm proud to be part of that people.
Okay, this one's called Graphic Raw Footage Massacre Across Israel from the Eyes of Hamas. Warning, extremely graphic. This was 1 year ago. Allahu Akbar. Look at these fuckers. Oh, hey, David Bobadilla. How you doing? What's new? Everything good? Good. Excellent. Gaza? Ah! What Gaza? Time for a little matzah trivia! Starring the Israeli Defense Forces. What do we dip in the salt water in the Seder plate?
Yeah, celery. 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 Good job, Kira. I'm gonna put some chocolate. Okay. Dessert. Okay. Blood. Okay. Lice. Frogs. Lice. Okay. That's the first one. Yes, correct. Boils. Blood. Frogs. Lice. Hail. Dark. Darkness. We're gonna spread it on there real nice. Like how? Order. Oh right, okay, yeah. Order. Okay. Yeah, you're not even letting me breathe. I'm gonna stop talking. Okay. 3 full cups. 4. I didn't know that. מה נשתנה? The Megillah. No, that's Polish. The Haggadah. Good job. So excited. Chocolate with chocolate and a little bit of radish, I guess. Afikomen. Oh, okay, yeah, afikomen. Afikomen. Matzah. Matzah. Come on, yeah. I like to mix it all together. To remind us of our struggles and our tears. Yeah. It's like tears. It's like the hard times that they went through when we were coming from like.
First of all, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you being here. And I saw that you're from South Sudan. And South Sudan, believe it or not, it's like I believe that nation in the world. Is it still the youngest nation in the world right now?
Yes, still the youngest nation in the world. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, okay, because I remember that some time ago. I don't know if any other countries were formed after that. So, guys, first of all, how's South Sudan? Because South Sudan was war-torn and a lot of people dying down there. And the reason I find that we have people from all over the world listening, and especially when you say you're listening in from South Sudan, how is it? And what, first of all, how are you guys looking at the United States right now? But how are the conditions down there now? Because it was Sudan, and they fought and they succeeded from Sudan to form South Sudan. Okay, and so I haven't read about this stuff in years. But that's what I recall, if I'm correct. But there's a lot of killing happening. Has it calmed down? And how are you guys looking at the United States as well? Those are 2 things I'm posing to you.
Right now, my connection is actually not great right now, but I'm just gonna speak for a little bit if it connected.
No problem. I can hear you well.
All right. So South Sudan is in a bad condition since United States decided to cut us off. So well, that's fine too. It did it to all the African nations. So what I'm here for is that I listen to you guys day and night. And, you know what I mean? Sometimes I have connections, sometimes I don't. But I appreciate you, John. I came from your marathon since day one to the CH and everything. I appreciate Grant is one of the genius people that I always follow, but he's been some bullshit lately, so that's why I was going to chat heavy, you know what I mean? But South Sudan is doing bad. We're being cut off from the aid, and our visas being cut off, we're being deported left and right. So.
Don, be honest, Don, while that's happening.
No, TC, stop. Don't the guy. No, stop. No, you're not. This guy has limited internet connection. Don't do that.
His internet connection is not
Now interrupting me. Get off the phone. Chill out.
My connection is okay right now. I'm not sure. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I only got into the chat just because Grant got called out by John earlier, and he went quiet, which I respect from him because he knew he was wrong, but he couldn't admit it. But John kind of let it go. What I'm saying is that we're doing bad as South Sudanese. We're being cut off from the world through the United States. So I'm not gonna make no excuses. We made bad mistakes through dealing with China and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is right now I'm just here for Grant to just let him know that I have respect for him since he joined Elon Musk because he become on some bullshit. And now, Grant, I lost that kind of respect for your uncle. I have to say that respectfully. TC, I always liked you through debate the news back then, but TC, you in some bullshit too. So I have to call you out from South Sudan. I'll rest my case.
Okay,
yeah, you're a liar.
One second, bro. One second. All right. So anyway, but how are you guys looking at the United States right now? What do you guys think? And what's happening with our president? And what's happening with the tariff? What do people in South Sudan saying? Because South Sudan is it's a poor country right now because it's a baby. It's still a baby country. Can you tell me what you guys are thinking?
You know, through the Orange Man, we can't do much because we're a small country, right? So anything that I can say right now could be wrong. But what we're trying to plea on is just trying to make sure the United States can be supportive of the South Sudan government because right now we're in a war through ethnic cleansing and all that stuff. So I can't say much about the tariff because we don't produce that much to the United States. So I just leave it there. Thank you, John.
No problem. So the ethnic cleansing is still going on. Wow.
Yeah, that happened, yes.
No problem. I appreciate that. When I started coming from South Sudan, it always fascinates me, guys. And then once again, we see people like that. You guys see someone in the chat from another country like that. Just to let me know because I want to make sure that we speak to what's happening there on the ground. Because South Sudan, they were going through it really bad. There were a lot of murders, rape, and ethnic cleansing going on. And they fought and they succeeded from Sudan. And they became the youngest nation in the world right now. And so when I saw that he was from South Sudan, I was like, oh my God, South Sudan. So, DJ, if you want to talk to me, man, go ahead, man. But we definitely want to get the information out there. We don't want to shut it down because it's always a privilege to talk to others that are, they're calling them from other countries other than the United States. And that is something, wow.
Was actually honest about the news that he was reporting, but he's not. What he left out was that the Secretary of State decided to suspend visas from Sudan because they would not accept it. Go ahead and mute up while I'm talking. Thank you. So they decided to suspend visas because the Sudanese government was not receiving the deportees back. And so he said, okay, you guys want to play hardball. You don't want to receive.
Can I correct that, John?
I'll let you correct it. Go ahead. But
I'm going to land. Thank you. So let me correct that. The Sudanese government wants to try and play hardball with America.
You said you landed. You said
no, I did not say I landed.
You said I landed.
Oh my God! You know what?
Did you say that, guys? No,
no, I didn't say that. But go ahead.
Go ahead. So let me correct that, John. And TC, you're wrong about that. The United States deported somebody from Congo that got deported in 2006. He actually went back to Congo, came back to the United States in 2009, and then he came with South Sudanese passport, which he got a citizenship from South Sudan, which is wrong by South Sudanese. When he got deported, South Sudan deported that person back to the United States. And then Rubio got pissed off about that. How can we do that when we're supposed to be deporting people to Mexico and all the nonsense that Donald Trump is doing? South Sudan did that, deported that person back and said this person doesn't belong to South Sudan. That's why Rubio put the whole visa on pause and said that we suspend everything until he accepted it. South Sudan accepted that person and said, we will take him, we'll put him to jail. I'm sorry, we're going to do that just to maintain the relationship. That's what happened. You got your news wrong, my friend.
Please, go ahead. All right, guys. So
yeah, he can't say nothing.
He's always wrong.
Yeah, he is, guys. Yeah, absolutely, guys. So, guys, what we're gonna do right now is, as I sit here, believe it or not, being able to see Don has been a pleasure because of the fact that, once again, you're able to give us your view. And that we don't need our view all the time. We always say we don't want to listen to the mainstream media but yet,
as you
here
can
we
see
are,
here in July 16th, 2021,
sprouting out the main talking points when we have someone that can actually give a different
this is
perspective.
Congressman.
And so I appreciate you for that. So definitely don't want that to. How should I put this? I didn't want that to be your experience here. So what we're going to do, folks, real fast is I am going to do a real hard reset here. All right. And what a hard reset is, folks, is essentially we are going to keep the show going. But we're going to do that hard reset on the other platform. So on the other platform, Jonathan, no, you can't do that on my thing. No, I'm saying something's wrong. Push him down. Push him down. Thank you. All right, guys. So essentially what we're going to do is a hard reset. And what does a hard reset look like? On the other platform, you guys will be in a hallway for 5 seconds. Once again, on the other platform, you guys will be in a hallway for 5 seconds. So we're going to do a hard reset right now. And we're going to jump right back into the show. And so, with that being said, folks, let's go ahead. And I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. This would have been done already. So, the hard reset.